All right, we are live. Why am I getting noise feedback now? All right, I don't think we're getting feedback now again. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our next episode of Uncivil Discourse. I'm your solo host this evening, Lee, as Brett had some real-life responsibilities that took him from being able to join us. But with me tonight is our extra special commentator, Jeff.
Extra special?
No,
What's Jeff,
OG.
though?
You're OG.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's why we named you OG. Right. So we have our extra special commentator for the season, Jeff. And the ever-popular OG Jeff. So this is going to get slightly confusing, so we're going to try to avoid saying names, but we'll see how it goes.
You know that's never going to work out, right?
I don't know what to do. It's the only thing I got.
Confusion is the way of life. Just let it happen.
So, hey guys, good to have you here. Yeah, woo, we're exciting.
It's been a heck of a week I know Lee's been sick and I've been sick and Lee and Jeff just got back from Vegas and it's just been crazy this week. So if it seems a little less than lively, it's not because we're not happy to be here. It's just a few of us are still recovering.
Yeah, tired and fatigued. But excited to be here. Actually, I really enjoy these live shows. It's been fun. Hopefully we get a little bit better than the 11 viewers from last week. But you know what? It's the first time we've done it. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you do it, the more you'll get.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on to...
Did you post the link for everybody?
I didn't get the link up, but it is live and it shows up on their... Any of our viewers will see it come up on their feeds for Discord, or not for Discord, for YouTube. I can't find the link to the live. I'm still new at this, everybody. If you do watch this later on and you see that I've messed it up horribly, well, I'm still learning.
By the look of intensity on Jeff's face,
he might have it figured out for me. If he can figure it out, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, I've already got it figured out.
Okay. And the show's as long as we make it anyway. So.
Oh, never mind. It posted the wrong one.
See? I couldn't even find the link to this.
Awesome. Well,
so, Jeff, why don't you go on with the skills? See, Jeff, here's the problems. Follow the script, Jeff. Yeah, go ahead and go on with the skill spins.
So this week, we've only got a couple. The Remnant's Thunderhawk picks up Camouflage. That should make that extra scary. Radiant Raven Raiders Night Sky picks up Mountaineer. And unfortunately, Fenrir's Frostfangs missed the deadline and didn't get his skill spends in. And I believe that's everybody caught up on skill spends.
Yeah, it looks about right for you, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to say I've seen a lot of interesting skills picked up this season. Just overall, I've seen a lot of skill from the veterans in compiling their skills so that they overlap. They get some great gunnery, piloting, weapon skills. Mostly mods and gunnery still. We might have to try to tweak a few things coming into the next season to try to move those mobility and effective gunnery skills, not effective gunnery skills, the mobility and the physical combat skills around, as well as some of those more odd general skills.
There's some interesting pickups, though, too, from not the veterans as well. There's some initiative manipulation and some, like, especially ammunition and stuff. People have actually gone out of their way to kind of actually read the pack and see what's there to offer and pick some pretty choice skills.
Yeah, for sure. It's been great that way. And you're right. Some of the new players, what I really like about new players is they experiment. They pick skills that veterans go, I'm not really sure that's really good for me. I have the way I like to play, and I'm not going to take that. But just like we were talking last show, I don't take initiative skills. OG and Brett don't take initiative skills, and it's not because we don't think they're useful. They're just not the way we play.
I understand that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not skills that fit my playstyle, and yeah, I can just work around if my mech goes later or if I don't get initiative or stuff like that. So I'd rather spend my points on skills that will assist what my playstyle is or that I'll find more useful at the time. Not to say they're not useful, like you say, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the physical attack skills. I'm just so unlucky with PSRs to begin with. I try not to have anything that waits for me to wait till after I've successfully made a PSR to be able to get it to work.
Yeah.
Nothing is more frustrating than being all set up to lay a 16-point kick on somebody at punch hit and you fail the PSR and fall down from the 20 points of damage during the weapons fire round. It's just like, oh, this is so disappointing. Because you probably could have done a better defensive move or you could have gotten to a better firing position, but you wanted to get that potential head killer.
I don't know, falling over the quad, definitely more frustrating than falling over the biped. Just saying.
Yeah. Hey, you're now one of 3 of us that have done it.
I've done it multiple times now.
Well, I've done it on a skid.
Skill.
I did it on a skid check. Was the first time I ever wiped out in a quad. It wasn't even a hard one. It was like a 3 or a 4 or something like that, and I rolled snake eyes.
Yeah, it's rough.
All right, well, let's move on to some of the stuff that people are actually here to watch about. This is the exciting stuff with the match summaries from our prior week.
What do you mean they're not just here for us to comment on things?
Well, this might be how we do Ramble Talk from now on, so we'll have to see how this goes. Because then we can get some live commentation too.
Yeah, it's always nice having the audience interaction.
Yep, definitely.
But moving forward, we had some father-son love with the Bashi's Avengers versus the Kenkazi. They played on the Grasslands Arena. This game ended in a 4-2 Abashi victory.
Proving why it's called the King of the Battlefield by old folks anyways. I don't know. I've never seen the Atlas as a King of the Battlefield. But the Atlas from the Kenkazi, takes out the Kronos and the Black Knight. On the flip side, though, the Kronos takes out the Marauder. The Flashman drops the Atlas in return, and the Black Knight gets credit for killing both the Wraith and the Maelstrom.
Game number 2, we have Thumper's Revenge up against the Condos Janissaries. They're jumping all around Lake Losi. I've never been able to pronounce that one correctly. I think it's Losi. In the second to last season game, with the Janissaries bringing home a 4-1 win.
The Rakshasa gets head capped by the Helios. The Longbow loses its right torso, also to the Helios. And the Stealth loses 3 engine crits to the Helios. Oh, and the Grasshopper loses an arm and legs and can no longer participate when the Hunchback puts it back down. The Grasshopper does manage to take the Yu-Hang with it, though.
That sounds like the last kick of the cat from the Grasshopper there, you know?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Lose
pretty much
everything,
messed up. No arms, no legs.
Yeah, lose everything but still manage to take the Yu-Hang with it.
Pretty crazy.
All right, game number 3 saw myself with Riston's Rogues versus Cat's Cavalry on the Mountain Lakes Arena. Well, yeah, let's just say that the Cavalry got cut down big time by Comstar. As people like to say, pay your bills, pay your phone bills, right, for Comstar. It comes out with a 4-0 victory for myself. It started off early with a lucky shot from the... I don't remember what mech it was from now. I believe from the Perseus, taking out the the longbow of the cavalry with a headshot, and then it just went downhill from there. A lot of good shooting. We actually lasted quite a while, but Matt just wasn't able to concentrate his fire enough to take down any of my mechs, and no ECM. Doesn't help when fighting against C3I.
Yeah, I think last season with you and Brett warning everybody so well, OG, about taking ECMs to defeat the C3 and C3I, this season the message didn't quite get out as far. And with the number of players we had, a lot of people just didn't really oversaturate the field with ECMs. And that's going to cost them. This could be very much a very costly mistake for people coming into the playoffs against the people with C3 and C3I. It could also be the fact they're a little bit more afraid of the clans and not really understanding the power of that technology.
And also, I mean, that game we getting that headshot as early on as you did in the longbow, that's a big chunk of Cat's Cavalry's firepower taken out right off the bat. Which is, I mean, it happens. He did it to me. I know what it's like.
Hey, listen, Jeff always wins, right?
Yeah,
So Jeff always wins, I guess, is the question. But no, like I say, it was a lucky shot taking out his longbow in turn 3, after it had taken, for the most part, no damage. Yeah, like, so specifically though, with the rule for the rule that we brought in for League with Beagles being actually able to act as EECM and shut down guardian ECMs, it's been handy because I specifically modified 2 of my mechs when I had the chance to put Beagle on them, and the third modification I got a Beagle on it too. So 3 Beagles makes it hard to shut down the network, right? If I'm within 4 of you.
All right, on to game 4. Ansgar's Outlaws versus Fox Knights. Picking flowers in the savannah is an unsuccessful way for the Outlaws to try to bring home a victory. More Comstar victory today. Fox Knights 4-1. So long, luck of the Outlaw. Or as Beaton so delicately put it in our chat the other day, the horseshoe that was inverted finally turned around and fell out.
Well, some of the highlights from this sees the Marauder takes out the Comguard Marauder for the Outlaws. In return, though, the Comguard King Crab gets the Quattro kill and takes out everything. Just proving that thing is a monster with its twin Gauss and C3I.
So I'm seeing something about doing live shows versus recording. We got to work a little bit better on the explanations of the matches, because you're doing a great job making sure you know which team each mech is for, but it's not written in the script. It's kind of hard to read it. It seems a little bit hard to describe what mechs for which teams.
Gotta fire those writers, right?
No, I know. You always attack the guy who's not here.
Yeah.
Wait, we would attack him even if he was here.
That's true. So, game number 5, we have the Neon Beat-Ons up against the Red Sons Irregulars. They're tippy-toeing around on the pavement experience. And I think he recycles jokes occasionally. Some clanners have a good day, and some clanners have a very bad day. And I do not know the results of that. I'm pretty sure it was a 4-1 for the Neon Beat-Ons. Pretty sure it's 4-1. It was a butt kicking.
I think it was too, yeah. The funny thing is someone's listening in this chat right now with us that can confirm what it was if they want to just message us.
Actually, you could just log on now and just tell us, since Aaron is in the room.
Yeah, it was a 4-1 for the Beatons.
All right. And how did that game go, Mr. Painter?
Well, the Direwolf ate the Nova, but are taken out by the Elementals. Go Elementals. The Archer gets taken down by the T-Bolt, and the Masakari gets credit for both the Elemental and the Dragonfly kills. That Masakari is a beast. It's definitely at the top of Killer's Corner, heading up, trying to take that Flashman out of first place.
And it may catch it. It's actually only 1 point behind.
Yeah, it's really close.
All right, well, moving on to Game 6, sees Kel's Keshik versus the Teddy Bear Parade. The Teddy Bears have a very bad picnic today in the unending hills with a 4-0 Keshik victory.
Wow. You were worried about playing against him, Jeff, and I know it was a legitimate, because Darren's got a great lance this year. But I'm pretty sure I called it. You were going to beat him.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't going to beat him. I just didn't expect it to be 4-0. I expected to lose 2 of my mechs. And admittedly, it was damn close to losing the Fafnir for sure. And the T-Sang was also hurt. I used a couple times where I was moving mechs back and forth to try to, you take fire this turn, you take fire this turn, just to mitigate some of that incoming damage. He got to see what the heat problem with playing against plasmas is like. And we know what happens with elementals and plasmas. So
they're just gone.
Yeah. They go away, and they go away fast. But But yeah, his Kodiak, I'm going to be, not going to lie, I got lucky as hell. It was like laser focused fire with friggin' painted targets. Hit that right torso, hit that right torso, hit that right torso. And it was constant like that. Hit the center with I think it was the Warhammer. It was just pummeling the center torso constantly. Like the first 4 hits that hit it were 10-point hits to the center torso. It makes it pretty rough to come back from that. And there was a couple of head hits in there as well. Actually, the T-Sang, I forget which mech it was. I think it was the Ryokan. Or maybe it was the Warhammer. I can't remember. Took the head clean off the one of them anyway. So that T-Sang's done that twice for me. I can't complain about head hits with an axe. So, yeah, it was a really good game. Darren's solid list, solid player. Can't say enough good things. And that speed demon on that Kodiak is some scary shit. When that thing comes flying up the field at you at 7 hexes, yeah, you go, okay, yeah, this is a problem. That thing's not supposed to move that fast. Why does it have that modifier? Oh crap. Yeah, it's a darn good list, and I don't doubt that he's going to make it through 1, maybe even 2 rounds of playoffs with that list, because it is scary.
He's definitely an A-side champion contender.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of, we have 2 more in the room as well, the 2 of you. Your lances are phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the playoffs play out. We'll be talking about that in between the week breakdown and the predictions for next season. Or not next season, sorry, next week.
Oh, we want to do predictions for next season. Jeez,
Yeah.
that could be entertaining.
A-side! I'll be in the A-side, maybe.
Wait, we're starting next season already? Okay.
The smack talking now. Aaron, I'm coming for you.
Oh, I'm coming for Matt. I want my revenge after that absolute fucking ass beating he handed me.
I want to play JP. It's been like 3 seasons. I don't think I've played JP yet.
I want to play you.
You did play me in the playoffs first season and took me out.
That was first season.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah, that's just the playoffs. Let's play regular season.
I've not played Lee in regular season yet either.
I hide. I do the scheduling, but I make sure I don't touch my own games. Like, I play whatever comes out, and the only time I ever manipulate them is there's a couple of people that don't like playing against each other in the regular season. Totally understandable. It's not against. It's just a little bit of a tweak. And if someone puts in a special request, I can manage that. Other than that, I play it exactly how it comes up, and for 3 seasons, I just haven't run into you.
He's fixing it, Jeff.
I am not fixing nothing. Matt says you're welcome to try again.
Oh, definitely. It's going to happen, buddy. I look forward to it. I actually had fun playing that game, even though it was a rough game. I still had fun.
Yeah. Oh, but he wants Dice Bag 21.
Yeah, he wants the same dice bag again.
Yeah.
Little does he know that I've switched Dice Bag 21 with dice for a different bag.
Laura changes them on the regular. So they're never the same.
You even go into a different bag, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she probably pulls them all out when she sanitizes the dice, and then they just go back in colors, yeah.
Anyway, that brings us to Game 7. Alshane Regulars versus Pit Vipers. Game called on account of rain. Someone goes home with his ball. Jesus. Oh, he's not even here. That's actually not bad. Okay. Someone goes home with balls in his hands. Due to scheduling conflict, this game is unable to be fought. Alshane Regulars get a bye win. Nice way to pick up a 2-0 and eke that bit closer to B-side for Alshane.
That's too easy. Too easy.
The best is when you haven't read the script all the way through, and you catch it part way through the sentence. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, plan ahead of time? By reading a script? No. That doesn't happen here.
It's much funner to do it this way.
Exactly. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yep.
We aren't professionals. We're just, like, that's why actually I like when we get done the game recaps, because everything after that is just how we feel. It's just while we're how we're talking. This is kind of monotonous, and because we're talking about games nobody saw but us, right?
True. And
the
half the
players.
time we didn't even see because we were busy playing.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, that moves us into Game 8, which has the Wendigos versus the League of Robots.
Did you call them the Wendigos?
Wendigos?
I did. That's
I like
literally...
that.
The Wendigos.
I like that. That's good. The Wendigos. The Wendigos got my baby.
That's right. Anyways, they versus the League of Robots. The Alien Worlds Arena lets these two teams stretch their legs, leading to a Robots victory of 4-1.
This was going to be one of the best games of the week because those two teams are really close in the standings. So the Pew Pew Dire Wolf, the Marauder claims you with a headshot, and that is never good when you lose a 100-tonner to a lucky headshot. And I'm reading it as he wrote it. It's the best I can
I'm still going to shake my head at it.
However, the Wolverine was cored by the Glass Spider. The Awesome kills itself with a failed stand attempt. See, and how can you... What are you going to do when both your assault mechs get killed in horrible ways? The Guillotine got cored by the Ice Ferret, which also causes a PSR on the Marauder that dies in the fall. So it seems like a game of a lot of unfortunate results, lucky dice rolls, stuff like that, or unlucky dice rolls, depending on which side of the dice you're standing on. But yeah, it sounds like a hell of a game. League of Robots has a phenomenally good lance as well. They're the top 6. I'm not saying that Team 7 and 8 going into the playoffs isn't good as well, but the top 6 have just... You guys put together phenomenal lances and great skill spins.
I think I'm in 7th, so right now.
Yeah, you don't count, Jeff. You're not in the top 6. You don't count, apparently.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I don't care. I'm curious if I get bumped after this game.
You can't be. The top 8 is confirmed.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that solves that problem, doesn't it?
Yep.
Wait, so I can throw my next game?
I was just going to toss it all, but I need this. It's the script.
Right, Darren and I already discussed that we'll take a tie and we'll just go to the bar while everybody's playing.
Yep, go right ahead. Come back for the dinner afterwards.
That's right, yeah.
So our game 9 was the first Merrick Militia versus the Nace CIT. Our Barrenlands Arena has these two teams play for keeps. The Merrick slip into a 2-1 win.
Is Lee not reading any of these more either? Or we're just out of order anyways.
No, we're in the order it is.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are, because there was one that didn't have a game breakdown, so I skipped to the next game. It threw everything out. Believe me, it's in order.
Threw it all out the window with the backwater.
Jeff Lee. Jeff Lee. Lee.
Anyways, the Merrick Marauder gets pulse lasered to death by the Nace. I'm assuming that means his entire alliance killed it.
Oh, that Marauder, the NAISCT, oh my god, NACIT Marauder is 3 large pulse lasers, 2 medium pulse lasers tied to a targeting computer.
So what it should say is that the Merrick Marauder gets killed by the Nace Marauder.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And then on to that, the Crisis Intervention Team, Blackjack, finds out why it's called an Awesome. What? Okay, fair enough. And the 5-team Marauder goes down hard. From the Trebuchet, apparently, claiming another kill.
See, there's another one of them mechs that I didn't see coming out getting kills.
And it was doing that before he updated it.
Oh,
he was getting finishing shots before he updated, because really, you got a 45-ton mech? 50-ton mech? The Trebuchet?
For the Treb?
Yeah.
45, I think?
No, it's heavier than that.
Treb is 50.
50. With a pair of LRM-15s. Like, it's not a weak fire support. You think of it, that's comparable to a lot of the Archer variants. Right? Same. It's actually as powerful as a catapult. The biggest problem it was having was the fact that it was lacking in ammo.
It was the variant that had no ammo.
Yeah, it had 1 ton per bin, and it just ran out too quickly. So moving on to game 10, so we don't keep this going on for too long, talking about games that have already been played. It's the Dead Man's Hands up against the Radiant Raven Raiders on the Bloody Basin, and it's quite bloody today. And the Dead Man's Hand comes up empty. The Radiant's victory 4-1. He wrote down 4-2, but I was there, so I know what the actual score was. Well, I'd like to sing the story of my people, but it's not true. It wasn't good. It was ugly. Brandon showed me absolutely no respect, but he didn't need to because he played an extremely good game, and I made a couple of big mistakes. I moved my Jagermech and my Huron Warrior way too much, or when I should have moved them, I didn't move them for enough. His skills were fantastic of Park. He has the range to do fire, and I just couldn't quite get my shots to keep lining up at the same locations. I opened up all of his avatar's torsos, couldn't finish it off. It like a large laser to the center torso would have killed it. I finally killed his Night Sky in like the second last turn with my prone Jagermech, hitting it with a Gauss rifle in the center torso to kill it off. So it did get a kill, Jeff. So I'm still in the killer's corner. But it just...
Is that maybe the Jagermech just got taken that way it should?
No, it did good. It was actually... The biggest problem was I moved it around too much. I should have put the Jagermech about 5 hexes in on a partial cover location and just weathered the fire at it, because that means the other guys aren't being shot at while they're doing it. His Archer with the ATM-12 was a monster. It did a lot of damage. The Battlemaster with its Gauss rifle and the Crystal Alignment ER large lasers, giving it the range of the Clan ER large lasers, were very effective. And the Avatar with 2 Gauss rifles is the same thing as my Jagermech, but with more armor. Right. So it was good. He played it really well. Like, I'm not going to fault Brandon at all for that. I could not get shots to hit the same locations. I stripped a lot of armor. I gave his Battlemaster 3 or 4 pilot hits. And I got in behind his Archer and with my Templar, opened up its back with 4 medium pulse lasers, hit him with a full 20 pellets into the back from the LB-20X. Gyro hit, engine hit, and a whole bunch of others. Junk was damaged. And he made the PSR to stay stand... Or no, he fell. I fell on a straight up PSR. He got up. I didn't. So it was just... What was that?
He got up with a gyro hit.
Yeah, he got up. Careful stand. Right, and I failed. I wanted to get up at a run because if I made the PSR, I was going to jump behind him and shoot him again. I failed the PSR. If I had gotten up, I was going to do it at the run so I could get around beside him onto the firing arc that his ATM couldn't get me at. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get back up, and in the end, he beat me. It was a good game, fantastic game. I really enjoy playing Brandon because he knows how to play the game. So, and no, Laura, I am not singing. I do it enough during this stuff. I don't know why people would ask. Maybe it's because I have no shame and will do it, but I'm not doing it tonight because I've got a bit of a cold.
Game 11, first Dracons versus Tin Man's Tin Cans. The Plains Death see 8 mechs enter, 3 mechs wander off as the Dracons pull out a 4-1 victory.
All right. Well, first off, the Thunderbolt gets the Dracon solo kill. That makes
the Thunderbolt gets the solo Dracon kill. It's the only kill that they get against the first Dracons.
That makes a little more sense. Anyways, yes. So the Tin Man's Thunderbolt gets the solo kill from the Dracons, and it claiming the Axeman as its trophy. The Viking finishes off the Peahawk with a kick caving in the leg and side torso. The real story, though, is how the Guillotine ran up the heat scale and then Alpha strikes the rear of the Axeman hoping for the kill. Fails, falls down, shuts down due to heat, and then blows up its own streak ammo.
It's something like 30-some plus heat it went up to?
Something like that, yeah.
He rides that heat curve. He did that against me, too. Not to the point of exploding, but he rides that heat curve.
Yeah.
Like he just... I guess he thinks he needs to use all of it. Like he sees the scale and goes, well, if you have it, you might as well use it.
Yeah, that sounds like a certain Neon Beaton's, no heavy lasers. Fire everything shut down, but he doesn't have to worry about ammo exploding though. So,
cheese.
All right. Following that though, this lines up the Shadowhawk to come over the next turn and execute the mech. Shortly after that, the T-Bolt falls down, crits its own Gauss rifle, knocking the pilot out, letting the Shadowhawk again come over and execute an opponent. I'm sensing a theme of somebody likes to execute things with the Shadowhawk, apparently.
Well, he's doing it to mock Jeff there, because he figures the Shadowhawk's a useless mech, so he's doing it purposely.
I don't think the Shadowhawk's a useless mech.
No, not you. The other Jeff.
It's just one that you don't expect to see do as well as it's doing. Unlike the Jagermech, which is useless.
It's more useful than a Jagermech. Yeah, exactly. Following this,
You got some love, buddy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all good. I'm doing as well as I could. I won 5 games in a row, lost one. I'm happy. The season's going well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Following that, due to the combined fire, the Shadowhawk claims the kill for the Battlemaster. So that's 3 kills for the Shadowhawk this game. After that, its ammo explodes as well. Both tons of ammo, apparently.
Oof.
A lot of people are chasing that Abishai Avengers Flashman, trying to catch up to it for top kills in our killer's corner. And they're catching him. He's only gotten a couple of kills in a couple of games now. So it's not quite being as ferocious as it was before. Game number 12, the Blitzkrieg Jezebels up against Hogan's Heroes. Beep, beep, here comes the Blitzkrieg through the desert. Where have we seen this before? This time the Hogan's Heroes are not the center of the TV show, though, as the Jezebels trample them 4-0 in Arena 29.
Wow.
Arena 29? Wow. Oh, okay, so it's called the desert. Okay, Arena 29. That's almost, we should almost call it Arena 50 or Area 51. There, I'll throw $15 in. Wait a minute, it's my league. I shouldn't have to pay 15. No, I'll pay $15 and rename it.
Improved heavy gauze rifle.
Stop right there. Imperial heavy gauze. It's her gauze.
It's improved.
It's Imperial.
Yes. Improved heavy gauze rifles, or as Heather likes to call them, Imperial heavy gauze rifles, to the center torso stack up in a bad way on the Rixasa. The Uziel is bar-guested, while the Goliath claims victory over the Bandersnatch and Cerberus. That improved Imperial heavy gauze rifle putting in some serious work.
It was bound to. Like that, those heavy gauze rifles are hard to ignore. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about in my next match.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. If they connect, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You've been hit hard. There's nothing else in the game that hits that hard in a single location with one shot. Right? Even the Ultra 20, which can do 40 points of damage, you still have to hit with both of them. You have to hit with both of them, and then hit the same location to do what one heavy gauze rifle did, and no chance for a critical, or not a critical, a jam.
That is a valid point.
Very much so. All right. Game number 13 sees the Vengeful Ones versus the Half Cut on the river basin, where these clanners meet to have a good time. Apparently they're having a picnic down by the river. You know,
They forgot to invite the Teddy Bear Parade.
Oh, that's true. They were too busy getting stomped. But this sees a 4-1 half-cut victory.
For the second time this week, we see a self-kill. The Lancelot falls down and destroys itself, trying to stand back up after the Warhawk proved its superiority when it takes out the Direwolf and the Battle Cobra. The Warhammer getting to finish off the Elementals, and the vengeful Direwolf does slap I was doing good. I was doing really good with what he wrote until I got to that sentence. After 3 years, I can usually understand what he's going for. The Vengeful Direwolf does slap the Shadowcut down, giving the Vengeful Ones their one kill that battle.
I've my understanding from talking with Paul, he was using that exploit skill he picked up on the Warhawk to great effect.
Cool. That's a rare skill people don't, because one, it's a little bit hard to understand that you can drag damage to another, or is that the critical hits?
No, that's
the drag.
Is that's the one that you were talking about here. The exploit allows them to transfer damage.
Yeah, half of it goes to the location, the other half goes to the other location.
Yeah,
and it's ricochet that gives you more criticals.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that skill actually is really good if you have big bore weapons.
Which he does, and with those heavy, large lasers, but you got to take them minuses to hit, and he was taking those minuses and more minuses to use the exploit skill. So
most of his what mechs though have, like, I know the one with the heavy, large lasers, the Warhawk has a targeting computer, so it's at least firing normal.
Game 14, Ghosts of Gunsburg versus the Wolfpack. The forward base hostess battle of the boys. Turns out this is really well played game and ends in a 2-2 tie.
Got it right. I knew they were going to tie that one. I did 2-2 tie. I think I even called them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to check. Laura, can you check that and let me know whether or not I actually got that right? Go ahead and read what happened.
All right, so the Wolfpack Marauders gets worked over. The 5E takes out the Viking, while the Mad 2 gets Grasshoppered on the flip
Grasshopper
side.
Ed? Is that Grasshopper educated?
I guess. And the Wolverine is taken out by the Thunderbolt. The Night Sky gets revenge on the Grasshopper.
I just been updated. I got the tie, but it wasn't a 2-2. I think I might have said 3-3.
Okay.
And when he says the Wolfpack Marauders, he's meaning the Marauder and the Marauder 2 of the Wolfpack.
Okay.
Fair
So
enough.
he tried to abbreviate things here, and it's just not working when.
Yeah,
people
abbreviations
don't
are
know
bad in
people-
scripts.
Yeah.
Right? And once again, this is why
Especially when we don't know. I don't know everybody's Lance, so.
Yeah, well, 32 teams, it's impossible. Like, not with the amount of time we have. Like, if we were doing this year after year after year, you'd learn them all. But they change every season.
Got most of them over the course of the year and talking about skills and stuff over doing the podcast. Got most of them semi memorized, but there's still some where oh crap, what's the mech that guy has in this Lance?
Usually I know their stars. I know the mech that really stands out, or the mech that's just not doing what you would expect it to do.
Yeah.
Like, I know my opponent for next game has a Kodiak and Elementals. I couldn't tell you what his other two are.
Warhammer, I believe.
Or Hammer.
Yeah.
And he's
The
got the fig on the Ryokan, so he has the one with the AC-20 and the Stixie Air medium lasers, I think it is.
Yeah, the Ultra 20.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't care.
Which I
You don't pay attention to any of this stuff. To you, every day is a new game day. It's like, woo, and you are again? Dude, we've known each other for 20 years. Yeah, and?
I just want to roll dice.
Yeah.
Well,
So, game number 15, I believe.
yep.
Devil's Brigade dropped the season for personal reasons, and the Frost Fangs were set up to play. However, because the Devil's Brigade isn't in the season anymore, the Frost Fangs get the bye win 2-0 as the Devil's Brigade was unable to finish off the season, and that's the fourth time I said it in one sentence. We will just consider that one gone and dead.
Game 16th, the Remnants versus Paxton's Pathfinders. Rocking and rolling in the hills, we have our two Chris's, Throwdown and Showdown. Paxton's find the path through the hills to victory today with a 4-1 win. Really, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, and let's go through the other tropes we use. Two Chris's enter, one Chris leaves. A Chris will win and a Chris will lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We have too many people with the same names. We have two Scotts, we have two Jeffs, we have two